The Mind of Cleopatra, a psychological and neuroscientific portrait. Today, we go beyond mythology, beyond Hollywood, and beyond Roman propaganda. We step into a different territory, the mind of Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt. Cleopatra was not simply a political figure, she was a psychological phenomenon, a strategic thinker, and a master of emotional intelligence. When examined through modern neuroscience, her decisions reveal a mind built for power, resilience, and long-range vision. Developmental foundations: how a queen's mind was formed. Cleopatra grew up inside one of the most unstable political courts in the ancient world. In an environment of betrayal, coups, and intellectual rigor, she developed advanced cognitive skills early. Ancient sources describe her intense education in rhetoric, science, mathematics, philosophy, diplomacy, and languages. She was the only Ptolemaic ruler known to speak Egyptian fluently and likely mastered several other languages. From a psychological perspective, this suggests superior working memory, rapid pattern recognition, and exceptional linguistic intelligence. Modern neuroscience associates multilingualism with enhanced prefrontal cortex development, improving planning, emotional control, and strategic decision-making. Cleopatra's mind was not accidental. It was shaped by discipline, pressure, and constant intellectual stimulation. Emotional intelligence and the strategy of silence. Cleopatra is often portrayed as passionate, but ancient sources show the opposite. Her most powerful weapon was emotional regulation. Surrounded by hostile rulers and unpredictable allies, she developed an ability to maintain calm under extreme tension. Her silence was strategic, her observations sharp, and her reactions slow and calculated. Neuroscience connects this level of self-regulation with strong communication between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, creating a balanced emotional system even in crisis. Cleopatra used silence as a form of dominance. She entered rooms quietly, listened deeply, and allowed others to reveal their intentions before she revealed hers. Her influence came not from seduction, but from exceptional emotional awareness and control. Cognitive strategy: the mind of a systemic thinker. Cleopatra thought in systems, not events. She understood trade, economics, political geography, religious symbolism, and the psychology of the Mediterranean world. This capacity for long-term and multi-layered strategic planning reflects high activation of the brain regions, responsible for future thinking and scenario simulation. Her political actions show that she could integrate multiple data points at once: military pressures, Roman political instability, Egyptian religious expectations, and the emotional needs of her allies. She was not impulsive. She was a systemic strategist with a deep understanding of how one decision could echo across continents. Stress, resilience, and psychological strength. Cleopatra's life was marked by catastrophic events: famine, exile, war, assassination attempts, and near-total political collapse. Yet she consistently responded with strategic clarity. Psychologically, this aligns with what modern researchers call adaptive resilience. Individuals with this trait show reduced stress reactivity, heightened problem-solving skills, and rapid recovery after trauma. Instead of breaking under pressure, Cleopatra transformed adversity into sharpened leadership. Her mind adapted to unpredictability, making her capable of making high-stakes decisions even when surrounded by danger. Social intelligence and Cleopatra's presence. Cleopatra's presence is repeatedly mentioned in ancient writings. It was not her beauty, but her charisma, voice, and intellect that commanded attention. What people saw was not superficial charm, it was social intelligence. Modern social neuroscience shows that leaders with strong theory of mind skills can read motivations, fears, and unspoken emotions in others. Cleopatra displayed these traits consistently. Her conversations with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony were not romantic games. They were psychological negotiations. She understood what each man wanted, what he feared, and what narrative he needed to hear. Her intelligence functioned like a diagnostic instrument, reading the internal landscape of anyone she encountered. Symbolism and mythic identity. Cleopatra understood the psychological power of symbols better than any ruler of her era. She portrayed herself as the living embodiment of Isis, the divine mother and the protector of Egypt. Symbolic identity affects the brain on a deep emotional level, activating memory, loyalty, and attachment. Cleopatra used this to unify her people during crisis. Her leadership was not merely political, it was symbolic. She transformed herself into a mythic figure whose authority felt inevitable, not negotiable. This was psychological engineering at a national level. Decision-making under risk. Cleopatra's alliance with Mark Antony is often misunderstood. Rather than being an act of emotion, it reflects cold political analysis. The Roman Republic was fracturing, and she chose the side that gave Egypt the best survival probability. Neuroscience shows that high-level risk decisions involve the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the area that weighs danger, reward, and long-term outcomes. Cleopatra consistently showed the traits of a leader who could make rational decisions under threat. Even in her final act, she retained control of her narrative and her dignity. Her death was not surrender, but intentional agency, designed to protect her children and deny Rome the propaganda they craved. Conclusion: the psychological blueprint of Cleopatra. Through the lens of psychology and neuroscience, Cleopatra emerges not as the seductress of legend, but as one of the most cognitively advanced leaders of the ancient world. Her strengths formed a distinct psychological profile: a master of emotional control, a polyglot with exceptional verbal intelligence, a systemic strategist, a resilient survivor conditioned by trauma, a symbolic thinker who fused politics with mythology, a leader who turned cognition into power. Her legacy is not about beauty, but about the architecture of a brilliant mind. If you want to hear deeper and more impactful stories about the women who shaped history, subscribe to History of Women in Power, where the past is not only remembered, but understood.